What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome
Hello.
to a In Love with Horror live, y'all. We are
Yes.
live. Gonna talk about some horror news today. But before we actually get started into everything, just want to give a shout out to everybody who gave me the birthday wishes over on the social medias because my birthday was yesterday.
Yeah. Happy
Had a
birthday, baby.
yeah, happy belated. Yeah. But I want to say thank you to everybody who gave me the birthday wishes over on the social media channels. Appreciate that. We had a great time.
Yeah, we did.
Got to turn up a little bit.
We did.
But before we did the turning up though, we went and watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
And man, that was like the ultimate birthday treat because that's a movie I was super hyped for.
You were.
And so my expectations, because the trailers look so good, my expectations were pretty high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it even exceeded the expectations.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't have asked for a better movie to watch on my birthday. It delivers.
Yeah.
And everything about it is just hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we're about like a quarter of the way in. Remember, I leaned over to you. I was like, man, this movie hard.
You did.
I was like, this movie is good. Like, damn, y'all, this movie is fire. But yeah, man, that shit was dope. Like, just everything about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Like, the performances, obviously the visuals. Like,
Yeah. They were pretty dope.
I mean, the way the apes looked in the previous, films that came out before this one, that I'm gonna call it the last trilogy, with Rise of the Planet of the Apes and all those films. Like, obviously the visual effects look really good, but they still look really good and even better. Like, it's just crazy the emotion that they can capture.
That's the
on
thing, right?
these,
Yeah,
on their faces. Like,
oh man,
yeah, like it's like some of them scenes was powerful.
They
were hitting
I
hard.
was like,
with
ooh,
some
not
of
me
them.
about to cry over here about these apes over
Right?
here.
Yeah, man, them apes is about to make you cry. But nah, man, this movie was so fire. Like, y'all go out and go check out Kingdom of the Planet Apes. If you're on the fence about it or whatever, I'm telling you, this is a must see in the theater movie. We watched it in the IMAX. Highly recommend watching the IMAX. Getting that big screen, the audio.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of intense moments. So just feeling the power of the apes and the music and just everything, the set pieces, just the visual effects in general. But Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
What's dope?
Whoo, man, it's fire, y'all.
Mike says happy birthday.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Mike.
So yeah, I thought it was really good too. I think you said you gave it 5 out of 5.
That was 5 out of 5 for me.
I would rate it more like a 4, only because I didn't really like what's her name? Nova.
Oh yeah, I think. Well, yeah. We won't get to the actual.
I know,
names,
but she dialed it down for me a little bit. But
really?
yeah, I didn't like her.
I guess like she didn't do necessarily a whole lot. So for me, it's more like she didn't even do enough for me to dislike her. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I really like
her
the apes,
involvement.
obviously.
Yeah.
Like you said, the emotion, the personalities, like the visuals, all that stuff was really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it though.
Oh yeah, man.
It was your birthday.
Yeah, that movie was fire. Like it's 5 out of 5 for me. We keep it real over here, so I don't even care what people are saying about it. Like,
oh well, yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah, like that's my rating. This movie is dope. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. Like,
right.
It is what it is. But with that, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into. Well, actually, one more thing before we start talking about the news, because we never did an official review for Tarot.
Oh yeah.
And it was just because that movie came out the same weekend we went to Crypticon.
Yeah.
We still plan to do like a little recap video. That's going to come out this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. But so we want to take a moment to talk about Tarot just a little bit, because I mean you could see the ratings, right? I got the Rotten Tomatoes pulled up for y'all. Hopefully it's coming in good for y'all. But Tarot, 20% on the critics, 57% on the audience, and I feel like honestly, and look, you know what's crazy too? I can't see it super good. I might have to zoom in, but I think it only says 100 plus verified ratings.
Oh, really?
For the audience. Normally other numbers at least 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Well, honestly, I don't think that many people went out and watched it.
Yeah.
It's funny because when the initial reviews came out, I know people were talking on Twitter about how they like returned their tickets and stuff like that.
Really?
And we actually had tickets for the Thursday night showing, but we didn't go. I forgot about it, honestly.
Oh wow. Okay.
And plus we had that live with Wilkie's Movies and Music anyway, so that was that same night.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was just like a lot of the initial reviews were just like, oh, don't go see this, so I'm assuming that's probably what caused like the low numbers in that regard.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I feel like the critic rating that's on the screen right now from Rotten Tomatoes, 20% is pretty accurate. This movie pretty rough.
It's very rough. But I will say, like, it had some good aspects. Well, it had a good aspect. I liked the concept, really, though, and the actual like the monster creatures or whatever that went with the cards. I thought those were really cool. But yeah, the dialogue was, I mean, our teenager could have wrote the script for this movie. Like, it was not good at all.
Well, I think what made it even worse was some of the performances just weren't.
Those were.
Well, I feel like most of them were rough.
They were really rough.
The delivery, the cadence of it, it just didn't feel natural.
It wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
At all.
And it's like you said, I agree. The concept was good. Like this whole tarot horoscope concept, I thought it worked really good. Some of the CGI creatures I thought looked cool.
Yeah.
Like I thought some of them did look cool.
I like the jester. I thought that
that was
really
a cool
neat.
sequence. Yeah.
And the woman, the first one.
The high priestess.
The high priestess. Yeah, those were some really cool ones.
Look cool.
It kind of reminded me of 13 Ghosts, right? Because we were fascinated by each of them, right? Like that's how I kind of felt
that's
with
the
these.
main draw.
Right, that was the main draw for me. People in the comments talking about how it was trash. And Mike also see him and Ash were some of the people I saw that also returned their tickets too. Because at the time, it was 8% at the time. The rating was 8% initially. But yeah, so it was not that good at all. There was this one scene at the end. So Elaine from Deep Red Perfect Blue, she did a video on TikTok where she just like walking out of the theater just laughing because it was so hilarious. But that last scene where they're like, "Where's Paige?" They're like looking at each other like they're in a soap opera, and I was like, "What is this?"
That was such a strange. And really, I don't even in that instance right there. I don't even blame the actors. Like the director should have saw that like footage and be like, nah, we gotta reshoot this shit. Like that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like because I don't know how involved this set was. But it looks like it was a regularly produced feature film, so they got all the shit right there to play stuff back.
Like, come on,
now. All right, now we got it. This ain't gonna work.
This is not good at all.
But yeah, this movie was rough.
It was rough,
and it's funny because like. Well, after we watched it, you reminded me that we had talked about this movie like a while ago, one of our old news videos. And it's like, dang, it's crazy. It turned out like this.
Like
this, what I'm saying?
yeah.
This is like a January horror movie. Like this is exactly what the kind of movies that come out in January are.
I was actually shocked by how bad it was. Like I had such high hopes for it. Not high hopes, but like, I was kind of like anticipating that it was going to be decent anyway.
Yeah, I think you might have thought like I did where maybe at least the kills and stuff would be fun.
Yeah.
But even that wasn't really.
No, it wasn't that good.
Nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like our kind of short and sweet terror review. It was just as bad as the reviews are saying it was. Yeah, it was rough.
All right, but yeah, so you ready to get into the news topics?
Yeah, what's the first one?
All right, so first up we have a Camp Crystal Lake update. Now, recently it was assumed that A24 completely gutted this project and was no longer going to be moving forward. But it is moving forward, but Brian Fuller, who was going to be the showrunner for this series, is no longer attached to it. So in the article, they reference an Instagram post that he shared basically saying that he was no longer going to be a part of the project and that A24 is moving in a different direction. So Brian Fuller, he did the Hannibal series adaptation. So I don't know if you've seen that, but that show's a good ass show.
I never did watch that show.
Oh, it's so good. So now we're like, oh, who are they going to get? Or what direction are they going? It's kind of like up in the air type of thing right now. And also people are worried that it will be done away with completely.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. This is one of those like creative decisions or creative indifferences type situations.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if I haven't read all these reports. Is there other like issues with this?
There
particular
haven't been any
person, you know what I'm saying?
specifics on any kind of issues that I've seen.
Okay.
But that could be the case, like creative differences. That sounds like something that's probably what it is, especially with him reiterating the fact that they decided to go in a different direction. So obviously they had some idea of where he wanted to take the series, but they're like, nah, we're not gonna do that, basically.
Well, and how far along were they in the process?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not
Did it
sure.
say in this particular article?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yes, I mean it's interesting that whatever whatever he had planned, like, cause I feel like I saw a post where he went out when I think it was for this, and they were talking about they had were writing the scripts and stuff like that, and I mean, hey, maybe it just didn't fit in line with what A24 was hoping for in terms of capturing the feel of Friday
That's
the 13th.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like they do have like a very like clear like brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you watch something, okay, this is from A24. So
Right.
that's possible too.
Yeah. So maybe it's just one situation was like, oh nah, like this is, this ain't giving us the Friday the 13th feel that we were really like looking for. But sometimes you miss, right? Even though he made something like Hannibal,
That's true.
like you can't always write gold. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible that whatever he wrote it won't hit.
It wasn't
what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't good.
Right.
But I am glad that they're continuing to do the series.
I really would like to see this.
I think it would work really good for a series. There's plenty of lore for them to dive into, and A24 probably realizes that they got something.
Oh,
like with this type of series, it could be huge.
It definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We haven't really watched the Chucky show, but they on what, like season 3 or 4 or something like that. I think. So I mean, like when you look at stuff like that, it's like a classic franchise like this.
There's potential.
It's got longevity potential.
Exactly.
So we can't be messing up the first season, or they were like, oh, this story is too like conclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we're trying to build multiple seasons. We can't have a Fall of the House of Usher where it's like it's a one and done type of thing.
Mike says he's nervous because he feels like it doesn't fit their aesthetic.
Okay. I mean, they can make it. They can make it fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they could give it that A24 feel.
They could. But I see what he's saying too at the same time. Well, based off like just what's already done.
Right.
So in this regard, I'm wondering if that might be the issue then, because maybe he's trying to kind of like use that same like feel and stuff like that, but it doesn't really fit into.
Instead of going with the A24.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's possible too. Shit.
Yeah, because I mean, you want it to still feel like what's come before that. I mean, you want to kind of still feel the same way you feel when you watch Friday the 13th movies. You know what I'm saying? At the same time,
yeah,
so
that's
now
true.
you kind of are stuck with that in the box, kind of like what you were trying to say, being conclusive to things. So that can be difficult.
Yeah, that's a good
trying
point.
to create something new, but still make it feel like the same as it was before.
But now you're trying to fit it into that.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you like that. A24 has that kind of weird pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're trying to fit it into that, and like Mike's saying, right? That kind of clashes.
Yeah,
the campiness versus the kind of very artistic, artois type of shit. So. Yeah, okay.
It can be difficult.
Yeah,
and maybe they just saw dollar signs at first, and then they like, ooh, now how we gonna do this?
It was like, look, we gotta get that money back. Well, I don't know how well Civil War did box office wise in its run.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
But I know that was the biggest production budget ever. I think.
Yes,
for
it was.
Movie. So
yeah,
I don't know if they made that money back yet. But look, we gotta get that money back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's that story, y'all. What's our next story?
Yes. All right. So next up, we're talking about Mike Flanagan possibly directing the next Exorcist movie for Blumhouse. Now, I know you got a lot to say about this because you did not like the Exorcist.
Oh yeah, that junk was
Believer.
Terrible. Yeah.
And I mean, what's his name?
What you talking
David
about?
Gordon Green.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he gave us the okie doke with that one. So I know that you are a fan of Mike Flanagan. I am as well.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about Fall of the House of Usher, and He's done other movies as well.
Yeah.
We looked at those, which we liked as well.
Yeah,
So
Doctor Sleep,
yeah.
Oculus, the one good Ouija movie.
The one good one, yeah. Origin of Evil.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he's got some good stuff in his pocket.
Yeah,
so.
And then all of his series are
outstanding.
Fire. Like
outstanding.
I think there's only one that I didn't watch, and that was the Midnight Club one,
which is the
but
good.
You liked,
that,
but
love
you liked
that
it.
one.
Yeah, I just hadn't watched that one.
That's a good one.
But I watched all the other ones, and so yeah, when I saw this, because at first I think it was just making the rounds as like rumors and shit like that.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh man, like. If Universal's like, oh, we really gotta try to save this thing, because we didn't spend all this money on getting this IP.
Because how much was that? It was a lot.
Was it for like $400 million or something?
It was a lot of money.
It was something stupid.
It was ridiculous.
Stupid like that. I don't know. I'm gonna scroll through this article and see if here we go.
$400
Universal
million.
Studios, yep.
Isn't that
rights
insane?
To the Exorcist.
That's a lot of money.
From Morgan Creek back in July 2021 for $400 million.
That's insane. Mike says, "I'm a believer." You like the movie? Mike.
I honestly don't even understand how you like it. I honestly can't even. Like sometimes when a movie is bad, I can be like, okay, I can kind of see.
Yeah.
Like
you can't kind of see it.
I can't even kind of see with Believer. Like
it does have some good parts. You know how the parts I liked, I did enjoy.
Those are very few, far in between. Good parts and Believer.
Either way, I personally would love to see what Mike Flanagan would do with this. I'm also wondering, would he take it on though? Because he's coming behind somebody else.
Yeah, he's in a weird spot where he's now trying to, but he did the Ouija joint that way.
That's true. He did.
Because he did the one that was like a prequel.
Yes.
And so he can definitely turn the ship around.
Yeah.
And if they give him enough freedom to, you know what I'm saying, like really have a little bit more control over the creative decisions, maybe he'll be up for it. Be like, all right, like it's dangerous, right? Like I get why you would be like, oh nah, I'm staying away
because
from
they slaughtered David Gordon Green off
right
of this
because
movie,
this is a beloved franchise.
Yes.
So if you mess up, we coming for your head.
Coming for your head.
So, but I do hope that he takes it. I hope they give him the creative freedom to go and actually
to flex,
make something unique with The Exorcist, because it doesn't have to be a retread, you know.
Right.
They don't even got to do a continuation. They can just leave the Linda Blair story, like behind, and just do something completely new. Yeah. Like, and he can just take it from, you know, in Believer, we got like a 2-second glimpse of whatever the main demon was that, you know, took the little girl, but you know, maybe he can take that and start running with it and just build a whole new, like, you know, plan for the final 2 films of this supposed trilogy. Yeah. But he's got the capability.
Oh yeah.
He could save this shit. Like,
I would love to see it.
Remember Gerald's Game? He did that.
We talked about that too. Gerald's
that
Game.
was really good.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
So like he's got the talent, man. He can direct. I would love if he, you know, I don't know what those other actors and actresses are up to, but if he can pull some of those performers from his series, be like, it can be in this movie. Like he typically does that, even with the film side too. So I'm hoping he grabs from that same pool, brings them in, and just creates something unique with, you know, with the possession story. Explore like some different cultures, you know, get weird with it. Like, I think that's why I didn't like Believer as much, is because like they like dipped their toe in looking at other cultures and how they would handle exorcism.
Didn't give you enough.
But they didn't go all the way with it. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't handled. It wasn't handled very well, in my opinion. And Mike Flanagan, that's a crazy pick, man.
That would be dope though.
I don't even know how they thought of that. Like how them talks came. Like obviously this conversation, like, man, how we gonna save this shit? You know? Like, what we gonna do?
They had to do something.
We fumbled the bag.
They fumbled it really bad.
Man, could you imagine if Believer was actually good?
Man, what?
Man, they would be making this trilogy would make stupid money. It would have the ability to be a massive horror.
Well, obviously they thought it would be. They're gonna pay $400 million to get the daggone rights.
And then, I mean, I know that there's people who like David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy. But after that, I'd be like, yeah, no, we look, brother, we ain't bringing you back. Like, I'm sorry, but we can't bring you back, because that kills and Ends was terrible.
I don't remember the movies.
They were bad. Because Kills was the one where it was like Evil Dies Tonight, where the mob like came up.
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
They had that stupid saying, "Evil dies tonight," shit.
You didn't
and
like
they
that?
went crazy in the hospital. It was a bunch of. It was real stupid.
You didn't like that?
Oh no, that movie was terrible. I don't know how people like that one either. But I take that back. This is one of the instances where I can kind of see how they might like it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the kills were good.
Right.
Michael was going ham.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I will give him that.
Mike says even though he loves Believer, he does think that Flanagan should have been the twist from the beginning. Now that would have been insane. Yeah,
they might have been able to do something with that. If they let him go first.
Oh, what's up, Taymon? Evil Dies Tonight. He said Evil Dies Tonight.
Oh, is he a fan?
He might be.
Oh Lord. Oh man. But look, I know that's why I prefaced that statement. I knew there was fans out there.
Yeah, some people.
But you know, I'm not. I thought the movies were like. I watched them one time and never went back because they were just. I just thought they were so dumb. I was like, these are Hollywood executives, like, you know, people getting paid crazy money writing these things, and it was just terrible.
I'm sorry, babe.
But anyway, that's the Mike Flanagan story, y'all. That's what we got on the thumbnail. Junk. I'm hoping that
I hope so too.
That he signs on and tries to save and does save this Exorcist franchise. And,
yes.
Actually make something unique and scary.
Mike says he liked Kills because that was the most vicious Michael Myers. One of the few Halloween movies he does like.
Yeah, see, that's why I say Michael was going ham.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, Timon says, clearing up. I'm not a fan of Kills. What's up, Palmistry? Thanks for tuning in.
What up?
But yeah, I don't even hardly remember those movies that well, so that's all you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next news story.
What's up?
The Other Black Girl is canceled. I'm so shocked.
Yep.
Like, this literally just came out recently, but I'm so shocked.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you finish this?
I finished. I binged the whole season.
Okay, I just want to be sure.
I watched it from the first episode to the last episode. Okay, so this series was based off a book called The Other Black Girl, and it's about this girl who works in this office, and obviously at the beginning, she's the only one in her office that's black. And then this other girl starts working there who's finally, you know, a black person, and she feels she can relate to her, but she is really like some shady stuff going on with her. And at the end, you get more of like the supernatural stuff going on, but we don't get any insight to what actually is going on. And it ends. So I'm like, oh, we're going to get a season 2 before we find out what's going on.
Nope.
But we don't get one. And so I'm so disappointed.
Happening. So something interesting I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
The first line in this Hollywood Reporter article is saying Hulu has canceled the comedy series. So was it more comedy than horror?
I would say, I would say it's a lot light on the horror, but it's there.
Which is interesting because the trailer definitely
it was a lot, right? It gave us a lot of that horror part. But it was funny and also very creepy at the same time. But like I said, the creepiness doesn't really come in until like the last few episodes.
Okay.
We obviously know there's something going on. I don't want to put out spoilers.
Yeah, I don't put any spoilers.
Yeah, it's definitely something supernatural going on. But I'm just so sad about this because it's like, you know, we get these amazing series and we just get one season of them. Now, it does say that the Rotten Tomatoes for the audience was 50%. And I'm like, how? It was so good. But the critic rating was 86.
That's good.
That's a big gap,
That's actually really good.
Between critic and audience.
Yeah. And see, it's one of those situations, right? The audience is always going to drive what gets made. So even if something is super well made, if the audience ain't feeling it, it's a wrap, you know?
It's just really sad. So now I need to get the book so I can find out what happens.
Yeah, it's disappointing because, you know, I think we had talked about this on like a previous video or stream. We were talking about just a lot of, I think it was actually when we were talking to Taymon. We was talking about a lot of like, you know, black focused series getting canceled because you had brought up a couple of different ones, and I feel like this is another one to add to that list. And so now I think the question becomes, all right, are like the shows just not resonating with the audiences, or is it not being marketed like well enough to get like a wider audience to tune in.
I think it might
You know what I'm
have something
saying?
to do with the marketing. Because I mean, I knew about this show obviously because I'm in like, book groups, and this is based off the book. Otamon says he enjoyed it, but it was slow. I get that. I kind of feel like this could have been a movie, in my opinion.
Okay.
It did seem kind of
even
drawn
a
out.
streaming movie,
Yeah.
that could have worked.
And he said the book ends. Oh, so everything else is made up after episode 7. Oh, I did not know that. So, interesting. That's very interesting. But yeah, now since you brought up a black horror series,
yeah,
and I know recently Them came out, and that to me that one's like I was actually surprised by how well that was received and how well that did. I think it was like a perfect Rotten Tomatoes score for a while anyway. Season 2.
Okay, I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Okay, yeah,
because I wanted to watch season 1 first, which I just recently finished.
Yeah,
season 1 of Them.
Yeah,
now I'm gonna go start.
Well, we're definitely gonna probably get season 3 of that one since it did so well. Which I'm glad, obviously, because it is a black horror series, so it's always good to see those do well. But yeah, I think we're probably gonna get another season of that.
Yeah, I thought cause now that I finished season 1, cause I just finished it a few weeks ago. I finished it.
Yeah.
It was well made. Like I liked the production value of it, but man, like some of the
writing
decisions and the character predicaments.
Yeah,
were just annoying. Like they were trying to do both real life horror dealing with racism and shit like that, but then also the supernatural horror elements. And there would just be a lot of I won't say spoilers, but there'd just be a lot of things that would happen where it was this is enhancing the racism aspect because of the supernatural stuff, and it's making them look crazy. And now they're doing all this stupid shit, and it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it made it less fun to root for the characters because stupid shit just kept happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
feel you.
And then they just wouldn't communicate good. The communication sucked. They wouldn't if something happened to me, I'd come to you and be babe, this is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We gotta do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But they were completely they're explaining to the partner was it was terrible. It's yo, explain your case.
Right.
Explain what happened. You know what I mean? So it just, I don't know. It just made it hard to have fun with the show.
Yeah.
But they're it's one of those situations where there's certain elements that were really good. There were moments where it's dang, I could see the elements of the good show.
Yeah.
In the bones of this. I can definitely see why I got another season. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I know you watched it. Can you see why we get renewed? It's got good bones, good foundation to it.
Yeah. I guess it's got good bones, but I felt like this one had good bones.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's got canceled.
I guess it just you know what too though? Might have been the marketing.
Well, that's what I had said. I think it might also be that to the marketing.
We talked about this recently. Remember we talked about it comes out at night?
Comes
and
at
how
night.
when the trailer came out, they made it seem like it was this super terrifying movie.
Yes.
And the marketing material. But then when you watch it, it's oh, this is more like a apocalyptic drama.
Yeah.
And see, when you go in knowing that, the movie's actually really good.
Right.
Because
but you
I
need
didn't
to know that.
I didn't watch it until way after the reviews and shit came out. And everyone was like, oh, this isn't really a horror movie, really. And so when I went into it, knowing that already, I was like, damn, this shit good, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, if they presented this other black girl as horror, which when I'm watching the trailer, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
But it's like Tamon saying, it's super slow in that aspect. If you watching, you're like, oh, man, this isn't really.
Right, yeah.
It's
kind of sprinkled in there. Exactly.
So, but all in all, yeah, I hate to see a show get canceled. We've all had shows that we really like that have
Archive 81.
Archive 81.
For example.
Is a big one. I can't believe
I'll never let that go.
There was one that I really liked on Prime, and I always forget the name of it. It's got what's some dude's name? It's Simon. Is it Simon Pegg and Nick Frost?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Something like that. There's the dudes from like Shaun of the Dead and like Hot Fuzz.
I've never seen either one of those.
What? You never seen that?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, it was like a paranormal like ghost investigation type.
Oh, maybe somebody in the comments might know.
But it was really good, and it was funny because like I watched it after it was already out for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so I watched that first season. I was like, damn, this is good. When did the second season come out? And it was crazy because like when I searched it, that article hadn't even dropped not too long after I searched it, and it was like, oh, this got canceled.
Dang, babe.
And it literally has set up like a way bigger story. Like it was like, oh, this is crazy. This story is way bigger than we ever could imagine. And then boom, got canceled. So,
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, y'all drop in the comments like what are some shows that you really like that got canceled, because there is a lot of them to get the axe.
Michael said he couldn't understand Archive 81, so he understood getting canceled. Oh, Mike, I swear we on two different wavelengths about everything.
We on the opposite
all the time.
Opposite ends of each one of these little things.
Oh, just because you don't remember it, because I know you can't keep up with everybody. Whereas I'm always talking. Mike is the one who liked the horror in the High Desert series.
Oh, well, yeah.
See, we don't never agree.
Yeah.
But we still got love for you, though, Mike.
Yeah, we gotta take your recommendations light, like your positions on these things a little light. No, I'm just fucking with you, but because that was rough too. We gotta talk about that on our last live stream. Yeah, but anyway,
I loved Archive 81. It was so good.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't like you couldn't like follow it, because I feel like they were kind of like by the end of it all got pieced together.
Well, I don't know. I just didn't like the ending of it. You know,
we know why you. We ain't got to talk about that.
Why he's sacrificing himself?
Yeah.
But anyways,
it was good though.
It was still good. It was up creepy, into that
creepy
part.
Like song that they was humming and all that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on.
Yep. So we got up next.
All right, so we got news that Monkey Paw Productions has named their film that we previously known as Goat. Mm-hmm. They've named it Him, and it's set to release in September of 2025. So this is the movie that has Marlon Wayans as what's his name? Tariq something. They're like the main stars of the movie.
I think I got that on.
It's supposed to be
get it pulled up.
Like a football style movie mixed with horror. So I have no idea, because we know how they do over there. They keep stuff with tight lid on it. We have no idea how that's gonna work out, because I'm thinking in my mind like all kinds of different things. Remember when we first thought it was gonna be called Goat, and you were like, oh, like are they gonna be sacrificing goats and stuff?
Well, look, I actually still take that position for this, because we still don't really know what it's about.
We don't.
I got the cast pulled up here on the screen now, so
yeah,
you can see all the cast for him, but we still only understand that it's like the whole, like up and coming person meeting the like legendary quarterback or whatever. And I still take, if it's still gonna have a horror spin to it, I still take the approach that it's gonna be a situation of like this is what you have to do if you want to be at the level that I'm at.
Oh, okay.
You gotta do some real weird shit.
Yeah. Some
satanic shit. You gotta sacrifice some stuff. It's gonna be some blood ritual. It's gonna be something crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I still take that approach if it's still gonna have a horror element to it. Because I mean, like, if it's a sports film, what other horror element can
there be? Yeah, I mean,
go to beyond like something weird influencing your talent, your ability to perform in the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but the director, I'm not familiar with him. His name is Justin Tipping. He did another movie called Kicks back in 2016.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the movie.
So I don't know, but I feel like Monkey Paw's involved, so it's got to have at least a good foundation. If nothing else,
it's got to have a good concept.
Yeah,
I feel like Monkey Paw is all about good ideas, good concepts, and then
we see how they like to take stuff like the Monkey Man.
Yeah.
And like that shit was like everywhere.
It didn't blow up like I thought it was gonna blow up, but it didn't blow up like I thought it would.
What you mean?
Like it didn't make a lot of money.
Oh well.
You know what I'm saying?
At least it wasn't on Netflix.
I mean, yeah, that's true. At least it got some theatrical time, but it didn't actually perform as big as I thought with what I perceived to be a lot of conversation in the zeitgeist about Monkey Man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we'll see what happens with this. But I don't know any of these people aside from Tariq and Marlon.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with any of these other people. But that one guy, he's supposed to be a rapper, I think. The one with the tattoos.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that in the article. But
I don't know his music
I
or
wasn't
anything like
familiar
that.
with him like that. So
yeah.
I mean,
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what's up. I really want to know what the premise is. Like that's what's going to really drive my interest for this movie. Like, okay, what is the hook for this? Like, what's making it weird?
Right. Well,
if it is going to actually be weird, if they actually maintain that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've seen like some behind the scenes photos. Well, not behind the scenes, but like photos of like Marlon and Tariq, like like working out and like doing all kinds of
like
stuff.
They just because he go to his house or something.
Yeah,
like
like hanging out and getting ready for it. So I hope it's good.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right,
What's
so that's that. Next up, we got a teaser from Joko Anwar for his Nightmares and Daydreams series that's coming to Netflix in June. So it's gonna be like an anthology series. So there'll be different like directors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we talked about this when the news came out about it like months ago.
Yeah, because that image right here,
yes,
like we was like, ooh,
that looks good.
That junk look crazy.
If you're not familiar with Joko Anwar, he did Satan's Slaves. So just the imagery alone, I'm like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Now when we first reported on the news about this, it was because they have like this whole slate of like Indonesian films that Netflix was like, contracting with creators to create. So this will be one of them. So it's supposed to be like a supernatural thriller. But yeah, I think it looks cool so far. And can you pull up the poster? Because I thought that looked pretty cool too. I think it's down in the article.
Oh, is it? Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Looks
Nightmares
really neat.
and Daydreams.
Yep. So
14 June.
Looking forward to that.
Cool. It reminds me of like something from like back in the day or something.
Yeah, it does. That's what I thought
that
too.
Like that kind of vibe to it. I was gonna read the synopsis though. It says the full official synopsis: a sci-fi supernatural series about ordinary people encountering strange phenomena that may be keys to the answer about the origin of our world and the imminent threat we will soon face. Characters and plots will intertwine like pieces of a puzzle, and the big picture will be awe-inspiring. That's fire.
It does. It's a 7-episode series. Oh, that seems kind of short.
It says the 7-episode series presents a different story and a new set of actors in each installment, leading up to a big showdown in the finale. So that's kind of interesting. Like, it's like an anthology, but it's still gonna have a through line through all of them to like a mega conclusion in the finale. So I'm big on like
connecting
having
dots.
like a really good through line when it's like an anthology, because sometimes they'll be super weak or sometimes they'll forget about them.
Yeah.
The last one I think about was the last VHS movie. What was it, like 85?
You didn't like that through line?
I was like, the through line. I didn't really like the through line like that. Like it was a cool concept, but I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah.
So
one of the panels we went to at Crypticon was about anthologies, and they were talking about that, like the differences between the ones that have like that story to tie them all together and ones that are just a bunch of different ones.
It's just a bunch. They just do a bunch of shit like together, like old shorts or like movies that didn't make it or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
But yeah, this one sounds really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to this one coming out on June 14th. I haven't even watched this teaser yet. Did you watch the teaser?
No, I wanted to wait so I could watch it with you.
Oh, okay.
Mike said the image is giving cultish Squid Games vibes, and it does.
It does give that kind of cult Squid Game vibe.
Yeah, mine said I love it. Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be pretty dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm all about it. I like that one.
All right, so next up, we're talking about The Strangers.
The Strangers. Let me get that pulled.
So we already knew that The Strangers was going to be a trilogy, a 3-part film. So the article that we're referencing talks about how they're hoping to have these all drop within a 9 to 12 month span. Mm-hmm. So definitely a year or less, we'll have all 3 films out. Yeah. And we knew that it was a possibility, but I don't think they ever really said for sure that what the timeline would look like when it comes to dropping out these films. So definitely between 9 to 12 months, we should have all 3 films out. Now, this thing also goes on to talk about how they want to have basically a cut of the film with all 3 movies as one that you can watch in theaters. So you'd be at the theater for like 4.5 hours.
So 4.5, a 4-hour cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said something in there about intermissions, and it was funny because we talked about that recently. Remember when we did our live, where we're talking about having an intermission? I think we were talking about because you wanted to watch the director's cut of something.
Oh, I was saying like a Doom Part 2 director's cut or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And you wouldn't mind being in theater.
I'll stay in theater for something like if it's that good.
Yeah,
fuck it, I'll be in the theater all day.
Right, and I just thought that was so interesting that they would do this.
So this is actually really cool. Because it makes me think about, well, there's a couple of different things though. It's cool, but it also like concerns me a little bit because it's like how good are these 3 movies, especially if you can just cut them all into one big ass movie, unless they like really like you could cut the first movie off and the second one starts. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it feel like a big movie.
Well, I think it's all one story. I don't, because the way that the article explains it, here, let me pull it up. No,
but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do know what you're saying.
If it's like a, you know what I'm saying? If it's literally like an Odyssey in terms of, like you're following these people and it's like, there's no time jumps or nothing crazy like that. Okay,
so the 3 films are based off one script. Mm-hmm. Okay, they made it into 3 movies just because it was so much they wanted to keep in.
That's interesting.
Sorry. Well, yeah. It's
Dang, what happened to you?
I'm dying.
I see.
But yeah, so it talks about that, and then how it's all kind of like following the first 2 parts anyway are following that one girl, the main character.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I feel like if you're not in a coughing fit, like you're in a sneezing fit.
Right? It's either one or the other.
Like she'll get into these sneezing fits, like it's literally non-stop, like sneezing for like an hour, straight back to back repeatedly.
I know. It's so crazy.
But what I was gonna say with this whole 4-hour cut though, is if something is good, the 4-hour cut would be fire. So the thing that comes to my mind instantly is because I really like this is the Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I didn't watch that.
Well, yeah, I know you didn't watch it. But, the whole thing was like, Justice League came out and there was a bunch of different stuff that goes into the backstory of why it came out the way it did, right? So everyone was like, hey, like, let Zack Snyder release his cut or whatever.
Yeah.
So Zack Snyder made this 4-hour and some change, like, mega cut of Justice League. Mm-hmm. And that shit was actually, it's just me. You know me, I like what I like. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says.
We know. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was fire. Like, I watched that whole thing. I sat there for 4 hours.
Theater?
No.
Oh, at home.
It came out because it came on HBO Max.
Oh.
Yeah, it came on HBO Max. But I'm saying, like I sat there and watched. Like, I didn't take a break. Like, because to me, the story was so interesting.
Yeah.
That for 4 hours, I was absorbed into this world.
Right.
For Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I'm saying, like,
if it's good,
that's what I'm saying.
You'll sit and watch
it. A 4-hour cut is cool if the movie is really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, how are we? Now, I will say sometimes I don't like judging a movie off the trailer. Mm-hmm. But
it's rough. It's a rough trailer.
It seems kind of cheesy.
You know what's funny? And this is what I think you will agree too. The Strangers trailer is one of them trailers where I feel like the more we see it, the worse it looks.
Yes.
Because every time we go to the theaters, we see this trailer, and I'll be like,
let's see what Mike says.
Damn,
Mike, what do you think about the Strangers trailer?
Does not look good. Yeah. Because he might have thought it was fire.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. It's something about I just I don't know. It just don't sit right with me.
It's it's just got like such a cheesy vibe to it.
Just a little bit.
And that's the main
But
thing.
it might be fire though. The way they talking about this, the way that the creators talk about it makes me feel a little, hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me find it. In this article, he says something in here.
I think it's also the music choices in the trailer that
it could have been that. That music was not a good choice.
I hate when that shit comes on.
Like,
here we go.
In order to tell it, you're gonna need to go back to the great original.
Okay.
It's the primal nature of the original concept that these three random people and unexplained random acts of violence, which is just so terrifying and real. I don't know if you can improve upon that. So why don't we take that basic premise as a starting point and modify it for a bigger story that becomes proper character-driven horror?
He's saying a lot. He's talking. You just need to back it up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this don't come out this month, right?
It does. May 17th.
May 17th. Oh, shit, it's next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be able to see it.
We're gonna really find out if this thing is any good.
Yeah, he said this script was a 285-page script.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's massive.
He said it was massive.
God, no wonder why they made 3 movies out of it.
Yeah.
It basically is.
Yeah.
If we do like a
okay,
if we do like a 90-page average.
He said the trailer is awful.
Yeah.
Tamon said because of the copy and paste method from the original, he said that should be the first 20 minutes. And then Mike said The Strangers was so raw and vicious, and the new one feels very CW. Yes, it definitely gives you that CW vibes.
I like that. I do like that. That's CW.
That's
that
exactly
YA,
what it is.
That YA shit.
I mean, I feel like now that's all we're getting. Like between Tarot and Night Swim, Imaginary.
That's your fault.
That my fault.
Well, watching all that like YA bullshit.
Okay, what YA bullshit? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about anything that feel YA.
There are some good YA things out there, but I feel like now that seems to be all we're getting. It's kind of like we don't get gritty stuff anymore. But hopefully that's what that. And I've heard that the Inviolate Nature one was really good.
Yeah, we're watching that. Sunday.
You know, I realized Sunday is Mother's Day. I don't know if I want to go see it.
That's a good Mother's Day movie to watch. In a violent nature, the dude just fucking people up the whole movie.
We're gonna see, but yeah, I think it is Sunday that we're supposed to see that one. Okay. What else was I gonna say? What have we seen recently that was like really good horror? Have we seen anything in the movie theater now?
On the theater?
Yeah.
I think what's the last horror film we really liked coming out? Abigail.
But even that one wasn't like, I'm talking about like, that's not geared to like 18 to 24.
Oh, first Omen. First Omen was the most recent.
Yeah,
one.
the first Omen. Okay,
I agree with that. That was not YA that was like true, mature.
Yeah.
Like straight horror.
Yeah. And I understand the need for things like that. Like I was listening to another podcast, and like there is a need for things like tarot, right? There is a demographic for that. And thinking back to when we were teenagers, right? Like hanging out at the movies. Like my mom dropped me off at the movie theater and stuff like that to hang out with my friends. Like those are the type of movies that these people are for. It's just like, oof, that was rough though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right though. But shit. I mean, you're looking at the ratings and stuff like that. I don't even think
do you think they
teenage
like it either?
crowd is going to watch Terror.
Well, I'm just saying that's who it was for.
But yeah, that is who that like stuff like Imaginary.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
That was a little different. That's kids too. But,
that is right. Speaking of, they making a. What is it called? Poppy's Playtime. Poppy's Playtime movie.
Yeah, they're making a movie. I like, wow. Like,
yeah.
Man, I know the creators of Poppy Playtime is like, man, they out there they turning up because they turned that thing into a mega brand.
Yeah.
Stuffed animals. Shit, our son got one.
Yeah.
Stuffed animals. The games, the merch, all the merch. Now they got the movies. Like, if you can come up with a really good like almost I'm gonna use kid friendly, but it's really not meant for kids.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can make a horror thing that has some really weird, interesting characters, like you can use that shit. That's straight money to the bank. Like
yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's proof, and now you got this Poppy Playtime is popping off.
Right.
But I'm like, wow, they're making a movie off of Poppy's Playtime. That is out. Like, 'cause that came out, I think that first game came out like two years ago or something like that. Man, you couldn't even told me then. Like,
They'll make a movie
out turns to a movie, right? What? No, this is just like an indie game. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't it? Even when they first released it, they released it, I think, in like chapters or something like that. Like, that first game wasn't even like a full game.
Okay.
It was just like a piece.
Right.
But that was enough to launch the whole shit.
Well, they coming for that bank now.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like that's crazy. Hey, if that's not like a inspiring story for you to go out there and go make your shit, whether it be a game, a movie, a show, or whatever.
I feel like you always close out our talks with that.
Well, it landed right in my lap. You brought up Poppy's Playtime, so I had to run off with it. You know, leave on with positive words.
Right.
Like, hey, like y'all go out there and y'all make y'all stories. You know what I'm saying? Make your stuff. Like, you know, that's what we're trying to do.
That's right. We are.
I just storyboarded because we already wrote a script for a short. I just storyboarded the shots. When I do it, babe, yesterday.
2 days ago.
Yeah, like 2 days ago, I storyboarded the shots. So we're gonna try to shoot a little, a little 1 to 2 minute little horror short, because we're gonna start trying to put our stamp into the pool. You know
that's
what I mean?
Right, baby.
Yep, that's what you gotta do. You gotta speak it and you gotta live it. So we trying to live that advice.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean that's it for our news. Like our horror news that we wanted to cover in this one. Just wanted to get out there and get on the live, chat it up with the community, talk about some of this horror news.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that either the chat or that you wanted to bring up? Anything else? That's it. All right, cool. Well, I appreciate y'all tuning in to our live viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around with us. So we went over some of this horror news. Hopefully there was some stuff that maybe y'all didn't even really know about. We put y'all on to some of the news. But let us know in the comments afterwards, like if there's some news that you want us to talk about and cover, because there's all this industry be moving fast.
It does.
News come out all the time, so even we gonna miss stuff sometimes. So let us know in the comments about that. Tune in this weekend because we will be dropping our Crypticon recap, where we just kind of like talk about our experience at Crypticon. That was the first con we ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously a smaller one, but we went to like a lot of cool workshops that talked about, filmmaking and writing and stuff like that. Just walking around some of the vendors, a lot of cool stuff. We didn't get any of the autographs, but we saw like the actors and actresses there, so that was cool. Like seeing like Bonnie Aarons, Ken Foray and Billy Zane.
Yeah.
And you
You
didn't notice that until afterwards.
I was like, it's Billy Zane from the Mummy.
Yeah.
He was chilling too.
He was chilling. He was on his phone like. And nobody, he didn't have a line, so almost make you feel bad a little bit. Like, damn, is anybody getting this dude's autograph? Like, they probably forgot who he was. Shit.
I didn't.
I know you didn't.
I'm gonna go to watch the Mummy tonight. As a matter of fact, I didn't know this, but we have the Mummy collection on DVD. Do you know that?
We do?
Yeah. Oh. I was looking through our movies. I was like, I didn't even know we had this.
I didn't know we had that either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was dope.
But yeah, so we got footage of the vendors and stuff like that. But it was just a cool experience. A lot of writers and filmmakers sharing their knowledge. There was even writers from LA coming to share.
The guy who wrote Lovecraft Country.
Yes.
Was there? Okay, we're gonna talk about this later, y'all.
Matt Ruff.
Yes.
The guy who wrote the book was on one of the panels that we were at.
Yeah.
And he was just in the mix.
I know.
I even got a chance to ask him. I was like, hey man, like, because I'm be honest, I didn't know it was a book first.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't know what you're gonna say. I didn't know it was a book, so I asked him. I was like, "Hey, what's the difference? What's the difference between the book and the show?" But it was interesting to hear him talk about writing this book. It's very unexpected. You know what I'm saying?
The writer of Lovecraft Country is a white man. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Yeah, He did his research.
He
though.
did. He did say that.
I will give him that.
He
that
did.
dude did it because he was like, he read the Chicago paper.
Yep, from
that
that time
black
period.
people would have been reading from that time period. He's like, man, I read like a year's worth of the paper.
Yeah.
He like looked up all these different like historical facts of like even where like buildings were positioned, so
Yeah.
he knew kind of where the characters would have gone, what they've been experiencing, like police reports, like
He did.
like just all these different experiences to try to capture, you know, truth in, you know, I never read the book, so I'm just going off what he's saying.
But what he said,
I'm going off what he's saying in the panel. Maybe somebody come back and be like, man, that book didn't have none of that shit in there. And I'd be like, oh well, he's talking a good game in the panel.
Well, I'll have to read it. I have to read it.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. We had people who worked on. They had an FX guy that worked on like Deadpool, The Last of Us show.
He did.
Black dude too.
Yes, he was.
And I was like, whoa, that's cool. So yeah, it was just a lot
dope.
of good knowledge being shared. And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like bumping shoulders with people who have ties to the industry, which is kind of an interesting experience being in that element.
Yeah.
That was just really cool and like a first time experience for us. So we'll dive into all that in our Crypticon video. So subscribe and be ready for that to drop this weekend. But that's it for us, y'all. We hope that y'all enjoy y'all's Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, enjoy. Tamon says happy belated birthday.
Yeah, appreciate that, Tamon. Thank you.
Now I need to figure out his name, but GAZ 1985. If you're watching, drop your name in the comments. But he also sent happy birthday. But he also commented on your post as well. Because I did a post on the community tab for your birthday. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So yes, thank y'all.
Hey, shout out to you. Thank you for the birthday wish. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all go out and have a great weekend. Hopefully, wherever y'all are at, the weather is good. The weather is like really nice and
super
hot
nice
as hell
today.
here. So
Yeah.
we're try to get out and do something. But we still gonna be in the house watching some movies, playing some games. I'm playing the Star Wars Jedi Survivor right now.
Oh Lord.
I just finished the Callisto Protocol. That's a horror game for y'all. You never heard of that? Look that up. That was like playing a movie. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, tweet us or hit me up on Instagram what y'all watching this weekend because we need something to watch. I don't know what to watch this weekend.
There's stuff we can watch.
Like
We just
what?
we ain't finished Shogun yet.
I swear. Okay, we gonna finish Shogun.
We gotta finish that one, and then Ninja Kamui. We gotta finish.
Yeah,
that
we do
too.
need to finish that. I be forgetting about that show.
Yeah, and then there's like some other like onesies and twosies movies that are out for like rent and stuff like that we can watch. But yeah, again, thank y'all for tuning in. That's it for us, and
We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, share. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. We out.